The subject, the third S is subject. What is the point of this email? What is the reason that you want to get in touch with this person? You have to let them know what that is. Now, if it's just to connect, then you should probably be encouraging them in something that they are doing, speaking life into them. People don't get enough encouragement these days, genuine encouragement. Let's say it's someone you just want to connect with who's an author, like myself. Send me an email about a part of my book about Do It that you really loved, that stood out to you, that had an impact on you. I want to tell you how to write the perfect email so you can genuinely connect and build super strong relationships. And there's an art to writing the email. And I'll tell you about the 4 S's. First one being serve, second one being size, third subject, and fourth sincere. So let me start from the top. All right. Now, the serve is the most important part. So when you write this email, and we are saying this is more of a cold call kind of email to somebody that you want to connect with, or a company or a position that you want to get, it has to all come from a service mentality. It's similar to what I did when I hand wrote a letter to every NBA GM when I had nothing going for me and I wanted to coach in the NBA. Every letter ended with, if there is a way that I can serve your organization, I would be more than happy to do so. It did not say, hey, I deserve a job, or I will outwork everybody, please give me a job. It's not an ask. There is not an ask going into this email. So that's the first biggest thing to understand. Serve. And you can even say this at the end of the email. Say, if there's any way that I can serve you, I'm more than happy to do so. Size. The size of the email is very, very important. People are busy, extremely busy. So if you send somebody an email with 7 paragraphs with a lot of writing in it, they're probably not even going to read it. I know for my own self and my experience in getting these emails, I very rarely actually read them because it just takes too long. So get to the point. The size of a perfectly written email is 1 paragraph lasting about 4 lines and spaced out. So there's a space, 2 lines and 2 lines. If you can keep it that tight and that specific, there's another. See, there's another S for you. You didn't even know about it. Specific, that specific, you will win. People will actually read that email. Now you have to understand that you might have to send a follow-up email, and there's a rhythm to this follow-up email. The rhythm in the follow-up email is after you send that first one, do not send one before 2 weeks. The sweet spot, it's another S for you, the sweet spot. You could have 6 S's to sending the perfect email. The sweet spot is 2 to 3 weeks, in between that 2 to 3 week zone for the follow-up. Do not go before. You can wait a little longer, but that is the sweet spot. Now let's say they didn't get back to you for the second time, and that's how I probably will beat to you if you send me a cold email. It takes 3 often. In that follow-up, that third follow-up comes another 1.5 to 2.5 weeks. So it's 2 to 3 weeks for the follow-up. Then after that, 1.5 to 2.5 weeks for the follow-up. And that follow-up has to be very short and precise of, hey, just checking in. I know super busy. I know there's a lot going on. No worries at all. Getting back to this and saying that no worries or no hurry gives the person that you're writing to, they don't feel the burden that they have to get back to you. It gives them the freedom to want to get back to you. So that's a big shift in words right there, saying no worries. Hey, just no hurries and get it back. I know life is busy. Allowing them to not feel like they have to get back to them makes them want to get back to you. It's much more genuine than that way than saying, hey, I look forward to you responding to this email. Don't do that. So as a mindset coach to top NBA performers, CEOs, Hollywood actors, and just high performers of all level, the main thing that these top performers have to be is locked in mentally and locked in physically. Now, I've dealt with a lot of optimization products that have done one or the other, but I've never had something that does both of these. Mental acuity and physical domination, and that is GoExec. GoExec is built differently. So are you, so am I. Scientifically backed, GoExec has carefully formulated a product that supports ATP production, mitochondrial biogenesis, improves blood flow, and protects your cells from oxidative stress leading to cellular aging. The results in increased mental clarity, sustained energy, and delayed cellular aging. GoExec has become my go-to, and here's why. Let me tell you about this thing called BioPQQ. Nobody is using this. This is a booster of energy, endurance, longevity. BioPQQ has scientifically been shown to slow the aging process. Isn't that what we're all trying to do, is stay young, slower the aging process? Increase energy levels. Yeah, I'll take that. And improve cognition function. Yeah, why wouldn't you want to have higher cognitive firing brain synapses? It won the Ingrinda Editor's Choice Awards for ingredient with the best science. The ingredient with the best science. Yeah, it works. Mind and body. GoExec. Go get it. I use it when I step on stage to speak, when I get behind the mic and I podcast. GoExec is my go-to. The subject, the third S is subject. What is the point of this email? What is the reason that you want to get in touch with this person? You have to let them know what that is. Now, if it's just to connect, then you should probably be encouraging them in something that they are doing, speaking life into them. People don't get enough encouragement these days, genuine encouragement. Let's say it's someone you just want to connect with who's an author, like myself. Send me an email about a part of my book about Do It that you really loved, that stood out to you, that had an impact on you. That stands out to me. I will remember that. That's a way to connect by speaking life into somebody of something they have put a lot of work into and a lot of time into. So what is the subject? What is the point of this email? Why do you want to connect with this person? That's what you got to think about. You don't necessarily have to say that in the subject line. And the subject line is important, but you should say your name, and you can say something to the lines of, hey, how's it going? Or just your name and that's it, or your name and what you do. It can be that simple. It doesn't have to be some kind of crazy email hook when you're connecting with somebody. And the final S is being sincere, genuinely being yourself, sincere. Don't try to be someone you're not. Don't try to act like somebody that you have to put on a front and put on a face to be. Be very sincere. And I show that in emotion and passion. I use all caps sometimes, like when I'm saying, that's awesome, to really show that that's how I feel. Because I've had a lot of people that have told me, man, I can feel your energy through your emails alone. Every time we connect, we interact with somebody, they are going to make a judgment call. For good or bad, we judge everybody in every interaction that we have. That's just the way that human nature is. And if you are looking at an email as a way to connect with somebody, use those all caps with exclamation points. Show some smiley faces in there. Show happiness, show energy, show passion. And I do this through emails. And it's actually got me speaking gigs based on just the energy that they saw alone through the emails, which is crazy to think, but not so crazy, because that is an extension of who you are. But make it who you are. If that's not who you are, don't do that. Be sincere about it. So to recap the 4 S's of sending a perfect email: service mentality, think serve first. The size of the email absolutely matters, and this also goes in with the rhythm of when you send the follow-ups, the sweet spot. 3 is subject. What is the reason? Why do you want to connect with this person? And the 4th point is being sincere, being completely, authentically yourself. And if you get that down, you get that rhythm for sending emails and messages, you're going to become a very good connector, a genuine connector, not a networker. Use it to be a genuine connector. Do not conform, transform. I looked up some stats on this. Check this out. This is incredible. 31% of adults worldwide have more confidence based on clear skin. 31, that's almost 1/3 of people. Like, hey, you got clear skin, you're more confident. Get this, better looking people, meaning of just the term, the clear skin, as we're putting that with, earn 12% more financially over their lifetime. 12% more? That literally could be millions of dollars. You are investing a lot into the lab, into the science, into the research. It is so far a no-brainer why anybody would use anything else other than OneSkin. Like, is there anything like you can even think of that makes sense? Like, I'm trying to, and I can't. I want to say, out of the kindness of your guys' heart, you are providing for our listeners a special pricing code, which will be in the show notes. So look in the show notes to try out OneSkin for yourself.
Strongly recommend to subscribe to our newsletter. We want to empower everyone because we know that the choices that we are making today will definitely impact how you're are gonna age tomorrow.
So I'm going to run you through a example scenario of a bad email, which a lot of people do send, and I'll give you an average one, and I'll also give you a great one. So you can see this firsthand how to do so. So this is an example email from a student in one of my classes, the 1% Growth Squad, of how to connect with a best-selling author. He was wanting to connect with this author, Mark Batterson, a phenomenal author, a Christian author. So example one, here's what the do not do type of email looks like. Mark, hey man, I would love to connect. I want to be just like you. Would you mind if I ask you a few questions to pick your brain? Thank you. That's bad. Really bad. He wants to steal Mark's time, basically, and pick his brain. As we talked about, not the way to do it. Okay? Moving on. This is the okay version. This could possibly get by, but there's a much better way to do this. Mark, hey, I really appreciate the way you portray God's truth in such a relevant way. So as you can see, he's hitting on a good point of positively encouraging Mark in what Mark's mission is. Play the Man, which is a book, was especially a game changer for me. It really emboldened me to step up as a man of God. So that was a good start. Okay, he was saying, hey, this is what your impact has had on me from this book that you put a lot of time into. I recently started writing a book about leading from the inside out. All right, now here's the first thing that he messed up. Now he's starting to talk about himself. He's starting to intertwine in what he is doing. I feel a strong call to help other leaders, especially Christian leaders, to lead with purity, integrity, and honor. I would love to know how you got started. Oof. So now there's the ask. He's asking him how he started to write a book. Now, I mean, this is okay. You can essentially give a little insight on what you were doing, but now he's asking to get his time and get how Mark started to write his books. If you have some time, this writer goes on, I would love to chat. So now he's asking for time. Asking how he got started, asking for time. That's where he misses. The start of it was solid, but then he missed. So I'm going to give you the third example, and this is a great email send here. And you see the length of it, like we talked about, those one overall paragraph, basically 4 lines, maybe 5 here, spread out. So you get this gap actually helps the eye. It's more appeasing to the eye to break it up instead of just one big clump. Mark, hey, how's it going, man? Exclamation point. I am okay, we should see. You always got to go back and spell check. Very key. I am an absolute vicarious reader. Absolute in all caps, showing his energy, showing his passion of everything that you write. Exclamation point. Just wanted to shoot you a quick message and let you know how much you have positively impacted my life and so many others. So now this writer is just really, encouraging Mark, of telling him how much of an impact Mark has had. That's the reason Mark wrote these books. So it's great to hear that. I really appreciate the way you portray God's truth in such a relevant way. Play the Man was especially a game changer for me. It really emboldened me to step up as a man of God. So you saw this in the second email. This was the good part of it. He added a little bit in there. Added the absolute vicarious reader in caps and showed his energy. He goes on to write, I recently started writing a book about leading from the inside out. All right, this is where I said you don't always want to say exactly what you're doing, but he is introducing that he is also an author as well. I feel a strong call to help other leaders, especially Christian leaders, to lead with purity, integrity, and honor. Zero worries at all on getting back. Now he's alleviating the pressure for Mark to have to get back. Zero worries, a key component to have. Just wanted you to know that the inspiration you are to me is going to lead to change a lot of lives through this book. Now he's giving Mark the credit for him wanting to write this book and ultimately change people's lives because of Mark's inspiration. Great point hit there. So without even knowing you are changing. Without you even knowing it, you are changing lives. Mark's having an impact, a trickle-down effect, which every author wants to have. Impact others to impact others. And this writer of this message hits it spot on. Ends with a little smiley wink face as well. Thank you for all you do, Mark. You're the man. Great email. Shows the sincerity, shows the subject, the meaning of it, the size is spot on. All of the S's are perfect. And now let's say that Mark does not get back. There's no response, which probably will happen, and you're going to shoot a lot of those shots. You're not going to hit them all. So waiting 2 to 3 weeks is the sweet spot for the next email send, and saying something just very simple like, hey, Mark, just checking in. No, I know times are very busy and you have a lot on your plate, so absolutely no hurries in getting back, but I just wanted to see if you had received my previous email. If there is anything that I can do to help and serve you, I would be more than happy to do so. Very simple, just like that. Perfect. That should be the follow-up email. And there it is. There is the art of sending the perfect email.